I thought I'd introduce you to my swim counter. It's hovering here over the light. It is, you may guess, from this little recess here, an old steak board. So these wooden boards used to be used for serving steaks on in a restaurant. They threw them out. I'm going to go through this very, very basically, not in much detail in this video. But the general idea is that I leave this on the side of the pool, at the end of the pool. I swim and I come back and I press this paddle here. And that presses that button, and that's connected to everything else there. What I was after here was something to help me keep count of my lengths, because sometimes my mind wanders when I'm swimming and I forget which length I'm on, and then I have to swim further. But also, as it's got a timer on, I may as well show the time as well. So I decided to put the number of lengths here on the left, and then a running time on the right. If I take this off, you can yeah, this is 0.1 because this is a prototype, so don't bust my balls about the state of the electronics and everything else. It's still on a breadboard. I've got the display here, which is connected obviously to everything else inside here. This is an MSP 430 microcontroller that runs on 3.3 volts, and the display runs on 5 volts. So I'm using this as a power supply at the moment. It's one of these breadboard power supplies. They're very useful. They can provide 3.3 or 5 volts on either or both rails. So I've got 5 volts on this rail, which is providing power to the display, and I've got 3.3 volts on this rail, which is providing power to the MSP 430. That's it in a nutshell. I'll show it working, and then maybe in a future video I'll go into some detail about how it works. So the only thing I've changed with the power supply here is I've actually desoldered the LED that would show you that it was powered on. The reason I did that is to save some power, because it's running on battery and I haven't worked out exactly how long the battery will last. I'm going to turn it around. Excuse the noise as I do that. Turn it around when I switch it on so that you can see what happens. So when it first powers on, to show you that it's working, it'll put the display into test mode. Test mode basically lights up all of the 8s, and I think the dots as well. It just lights up everything so you can see that the display is working. So I've powered it on now, and then you'll see a flash of everything come on, and it did include the dots there from what I could see. I then put the cover down like that, which keeps the water out, so if it splashes on here it'll go in there. It won't actually go down and over and into the circuitry. And obviously, being on the edge of the pool, all I do when I come back from swimming to the other side or other end of the pool and come back to this end, press the button, and it will show me the number of laps I've done and how long that took. So it then switches off the display to save battery again. And there's no point. My face is in the water somewhere, so I can't see it anyway. There's no point having it on. When I come back and I press the button again, it'll show me I've now done 4 lengths. In a very, very good time. Obviously it won't be that quick. I average about 30 seconds a length, over 2 kilometers. So hopefully the battery will last that long. It takes about 40, maybe 42 minutes to swim 2K, and that should work. And that's the whole idea. Press the button, shows you what it is. There is another feature which I haven't enabled at the moment. There is a facility for another button which is not connected anywhere, which pauses the swim counter. So if I happen to be chatting to somebody or stop for a chat or something, I could pause it, and when it's in pause mode it enters what I call playback. It'll then show you the lap count and the time it took to do those 2, so it'll be 2 and how long it took to do 2 lengths, 4 how long it took to do the next 2 lengths. So it's each 2 lengths. So let's get that up there so you can see it nicely. There's a 5-second delay on pressing the button, so you can't accidentally press it twice like that now. It stays at 10. Even now it's not working. It'll be 5 seconds at least before I can press it again. And that's to prevent accidental double taps. that's it in a nutshell. There's one other feature which I didn't explain. This was designed for swimming there and back kind of lengths, but if you wanted it to be single count, all you have to do is hold this button down when you switch it on, and it'll count in single digits, not doubles. So if I switch that off, and if I switch it on with the button pressed, so let's make sure I can do everything. Press the button, switch it on. Ow. There, it's on. Now it'll count in ones. 1. I give it 5 seconds. 2, and it'll be individual numbers. So the next one will be 3, obviously. I give it another 5 seconds. 3. Anyway, that's a little hobby that I've been up to. Wasting my time doing this little thing. Who knows? I haven't actually used it in the pool yet. We'll see if somebody reports it as some sort of device, suspicious device. The pool I swim in is a sports club, not just a general open pool to the public. So there are very few people in the pool, and I don't think this is going to be a problem to use in the pool.